Yes, people, welcome back to another episode of Real Ball Talk. Hope everyone is blessed. Happy Friday and that to everyone whose work week ends. I know for a lot of people they will now be off for the holiday season. So big up to everyone who's now got a week, 2 weeks, a few days. However, some people 3 weeks off, well deserved rest. And for anyone working tomorrow and that big up you all as well tonight. The man them Jeff and Rash will be on shortly. Jalil unfortunately is not able to make it today, but he'll be back with us next week. So y'all know what to do. First thing first, obviously hit the like button, smash the likes. Obviously, big up everyone for the support as always. Follow us on TikTok too, but do make sure to smash the like button. That's the most important thing for these videos. Um, so yeah, and obviously if you're new to the channel, do subscribe too. So yeah, without further ado, we know what it's about. It's World Cup final weekend. It's finally here. 4 weeks, almost 4 weeks has flown by, to be honest. From when the World Cup first started. Um, I think most of us had France reaching the final before the tournament. I think most of us had Argentina reaching the semis. I think most people had Brazil making it to the final over Argentina. But here we are, Argentina France final, 3 p.m. Sunday UK time. And yeah, it's bound to be a mad, mad game. Obviously, World Cup finals are usually very, very high stakes. Um, oftentimes they're not high scoring. The 2018 final that ended 4-2 was a bit of an anomaly in that regard. Because the 2014 final ended 1-0, the 2010 final ended 1-0, the 2006 final ended 1-1, went to a penalty shootout, 2002 final 2-0. So usually it's not high scoring. 2018 France Croatia was 4-2, so that was a bit different. Um, but yeah, obviously I think looking back at the semi-finals, we already spoke about Argentina beating Croatia 3-0. The performances of Alvarez and Messi and obviously France got the job done against Morocco. We do have to give Morocco a lot of credit. Um, there's definitely a couple of players that really stood out for Morocco. Obviously, Amrabat really stood out in terms of the holding midfield position. I actually thought I was a bit confused because I forgot that Amrabat actually has an older brother as well, who used to play for Watford, who had hella shots. I don't know if he still plays for Watford now, but he had serious, serious shots. Um, so yeah, it's actually no Sufyan Amrabat, and I know he's been linked with a few teams. He looks like a really, really good player. 26 years old, I think. Unahi as well in that midfield, the number 8. He's probably the Moroccan player I was most impressed with. Boufal too, but anyone who's known Boufal over the years, from even before he joined Southampton for like 21 million, it was a big deal at the time because Boufal has always been crazy, crazy talented. And you could even see at this World Cup, he gave you 4 or 5 glimpses every game. That in terms of pure ability, he's a player. It's just getting that on a consistent basis. You feel like he's a player that should be playing with players of similar caliber in terms of getting the best out of him. That he's not the type of player that if he's playing with lesser quality can really help you carry because he's dependent on receiving the ball. The goalkeeper as well. No, but regardless, Morocco did a great job. They fought hard. They played well. France, in the end, the experience, the know-how. Um, Theo Hernandez and Colomani um, getting the goals for France to get the job done. They kept Mbappe relatively quiet. Mbappe had obviously his moments, his glimpses of stardom, which Mbappe has done throughout the course of the tournament. But yeah, here we are, France, Morocco, um, France, Argentina. Sorry, I mean obviously the obvious plot to the game, which will dominate all the previews, etc., is all going to be around Lionel Messi. The chance to have the World Cup with Argentina, like at Maradona in 1986. A lot of people have compared, how he's played with Maradona in 1986. I do think that's a bit of discredit in Maradona. From all the clips that I saw of him, Maradona seemed to be a lot more influential on a consistent basis. Obviously, Maradona was also in his prime in the 1986 World Cup. Messi's towards the tail end of his career. So Messi is very much more playing in moments. And Argentina have generally not played well throughout the course of the tournament. They're just more about being resolute, compact, and really literally giving the ball to Messi. When you see an Argentinian player get the ball, um, it's the first thing is let me look for him. So naturally, that's always going to help you to stand out more as well as whereas if you were in a team like your France, like your Brazil, where as great as Neymar is or whoever, you're naturally going to share the ball a lot more. Let me just add Jeff. Pick up Jeff. What are you telling me, bro?
What's good, my guy? Everything good?
All good, bro. What are you saying?
Yeah, all good, all good. Apologies for the little lateness, bro.
Nah, mine only started a few minutes ago anyway. Just
Okay.
saying, Jeff, you were just saying, obviously the finals here, Argentina, France, Messi versus Mbappe. That's going to be like the plot of the weekend.
Yeah.
So we put it out on our TikTok earlier. We just kind of asked the question, like, is it like the obvious answer that the legacy most at stake on Sunday is Messi's? Because I just think when you say someone's legacy is most at stake, usually it should have a double-edged sword to it. It should have a what if they win and what if they don't win. But I really think if they don't win, Messi remains the greatest of all time. Da-da-da. So, but obviously, if they win that World Cup, he takes it off, and then really he should probably retire after that. To be honest, it'll be the perfect way to go out.
Yeah.
But yeah, what do you think in terms of the Messi factor, the Mbappe factor, and
Well, with Mbappe, it's so early in his career and he's got one already that there's no downside for him, I don't think. Like, if he loses, he's potentially got 4 more shots or 3 more shots at a World Cup.
Yeah.
He'll be 35 in 12 years' time. So he's fine. He's already got one under his belt. He's already on course to break World Cup records and stuff like that. I'm sure in 10 years' time, we could be having a conversation where it could be like, all right, he's in that class with the greatest and all that. Messi, to the majority of the public, people will say it's his legacy is at stake. But legacy at stake means that it's almost like if you lose, you're not who you are. That's what stake means to me, like at
That's what
stake.
Thank you.
But I don't think that's right. Like, because he is who he is. He's 18 years in. He's, to me, I said this the other day when we did our recap on Messi. He's already the greatest to me. It's not going to change. But to the rest of the public, because it's this Messi Ronaldo ongoing argument, the way a lot of even Ronaldo fans, they don't like the way Ronaldo's ended his career, or like in Europe or where he could be still playing in Qatar, Saudi Arabia, wherever he chooses to play. But they don't like the way he's ended it. So they're like, oh yeah, if Messi wins, like he'll be the greatest. But like we were saying, like it doesn't really, to me, it has no bearing. Like, of course, it'd be great if to me, the greatest player of all time wins a World Cup. But at the same time, it's just like, well, I've put in all of this work without it. Even this lead up to this final, I'm 35 years of age. I'm still the main draw for my team. And we saw what he did to that highly rated Croatian centre back. I can't even remember his name. Gavardol, yeah. So, like, I get it. Like, the public are going to do what the public do in it. But really, really and truly, I don't think there's any real downside for either of them. Like, it may look a certain way because they'll say, what, Messi's made, 6 finals?
6. It'll be 6 and lost 5.
Right. So I get that bit. But at the same time, the way he plays, like where they say like Ronaldo gets all of the credit for sometimes how he scored or how he's performed in the final goals and all of that. They play a different game. Like Ronaldo's he's more the end of the move. Messi, a lot of his career, he's been the start, the beginning, and the end of the move.
Yeah.
I mean, the start, the middle, and the end of the move. So it's just like, I don't judge it the same. For me.
They're not the same.
Yeah.
They're not the same at all. And it's like with Messi, it's just like because I remember when Ronaldo won when Portugal won the Euros in 2016, right? And but that's when the GOAT stuff really became hot. People said Ronaldo's got that international thing, Messi hasn't. And even at the time, I was like, well, okay, yeah, okay, now it's gonna be like a lot closer. But when I look back now, as I really start to look back now at Ronaldo's career, it's a while before I even get to that Euro 2016. I think of United first, everything he did, the Champions League, everything he did there. And then I'm like, oh yeah, and he got the Euros too.
It doesn't do like what
It's
people thought.
moving like that.
Yeah, because again, like if you liked Ronaldo, your decision should have been made before 2016 to me.
Yeah.
Because
that was his best years.
Yeah, it's not like they've been in the game 4 or 5 years. Like, ooh, all right, one win here could tip the other. It's like no, they've already put in crazy work. Ronaldo had probably already won a Champions League by then at Man United. He'd already destroyed the Premier League. He'd already destroyed La Liga. Your decision should have been made. That's just me. Like people might say, oh yeah, accolades change it, but to me, when you have such a long body of work, like there's a tenure to go off. It's not like it's neck and neck, like you're on a racetrack and this tournament pushes you further ahead into this left corner. No, just no, like not for me. Like it's all right. There's 10 years in. Ronaldo by that point was 13 years in.
13, yeah.
So why is this the scale tipper? Like I've never really understood it. Like I know it's just a fun argument to have as football fans, but I'm more at the point now where I know Ronaldo hasn't ended it in the greatest way for most people, but he's still Ronaldo. Like he's still one of the greatest footballers to ever live. Like we've had this discussion. He might not be my favorite, but you can't deny what he did. Like you just can't. He was scary in his prime. Scary. Like you couldn't do anything with him.
Yeah.
So you gotta leave his legacy where it is, and Messi's you gotta leave it where it is, regardless of what happens on Sunday.
Yeah, I just think even if Argentina lose, like even though a lot of us had Argentina going far before the start of the tournament, I think for them to even be here, whilst they've had, you could say, a relatively easy route to the final, because it hasn't been the most difficult. They ain't played any world beaters. You know, it's still great of them for them to reach this far. And even for France, with them, all the injuries they have, you know, the Pogbas, the Benzimas, the Kantes, even your Nkunkus, your Magnon, your Lucas Hernandez, your Kimpembe, that's 7 man that you just add to that squad straight away. Half of them start, half of them are amazing subs to have. And it's like them to reach a back-to-back final is outstanding. And obviously for Mbappe, I just think there's no modern player. The classic narrative for the people of past generations is like, oh, but look at Pele though. Who's got 3 World Cups like Pele? So now Mbappe wins on Sunday and he has 2.
It's scary, like because even he's the forefront of that team at 23. He was one of the main reasons they won
in 2018.
In 2018, and his team is growing. Like we've seen, like Tchouaméni looks amazing. I'm just gonna say it. Like he looks amazing. I didn't realize he was that good. Like, you know, when you saw him in League One, you're like, yeah, he's a good player, man. Like athlete. Yeah, like he can do what he needs to do. But when you see 85 million, like whoa. I see why. So you got him, you got Camavinga, you got Ousmane Dembele, who's a year older than Mbappe.
Yeah.
Then you got Nkunku, who will be like 28 by the next World Cup, 26 by the Euros. He's still young. Like there's young players around. So if like we might as well say it now, Mbappe is not far off already being spoken about in a very, very different level.
And the thing is, the next World Cup, the keeper Magnon will be 31. Great age for a keeper, like you said. Saliba, 25. Konate, 26. Theo Hernandez. How old is Theo Hernandez? I don't think he's too old.
24 or something. I'm not sure though. I'm gonna say 24, but I
Next
might
World
be
Cup,
wrong.
Theo Hernandez, 29.
So he's 25 now. Wow.
So he's 25 now. He'll be 20. So you got Magnon 31, Saliba 25, Konate 26, Theo Hernandez 29, Chouameni 26, Camavinga 23,
It's a baby.
Dembele 28, Nkunku 28, Mbappe 27.
Perfect. Just peak age now.
Peak
Because
age.
now, like even like we see that what goes around about Mbappe now, or by third, like we even saw in the group chat earlier. I think it was one of ours. It says like,
Oh yeah,
Mbappe,
Valentine's. He finished
but
at 31.
it's
Yeah,
like,
I need to grill him for
jeez.
that still. I need to grill him
So,
for that.
so I get it, but that's just way too critical. Like to me, like
But you
because
see the space thing that I was telling you about the other day.
yeah.
That's what this comes back down to, bro. I've seen hella TikToks last couple of days of even some average English players. In fact, whether you're average or not, it doesn't matter. And they're like, what is Mbappe outside of pace?
What is that? Like what does that even mean?
Now, like,
and so we're gonna act like now he's got no football IQ and is solely pace.
That's what they're acting like. Yeah, that's what they're acting like.
No, you can like this is the thing, like we know his game is mostly predicated of pace. If he gets you one-on-one, he's going to cook you. It's over. But that's not all his game is. Like that's his biggest asset. That doesn't mean there's not other assets. Like we've seen the goals he scored. He can finish. I know he misses a lot in League One, but crunch time, a lot of the time, when it's crunch time, this is the thing with team, like you can even critique between him and Neymar. I say crunch time, Neymar can have all the approach play in the world. It's normally impeccable. And sometimes when it comes to the finish in those crunch moments, is not great. Mbappe, when it's crunch time, he's finding the net. Regardless if he's missed 7 in a game, he'll find the net when it's crunch time. So his finishing is great. He's a very good dribbler. I know he's quick, but he's a very good dribbler. He's got a lot of football IQ. He's proven he's getting better. Like the Walker game where I know like some people will say, oh yeah, England kept Mbappe quiet. They have the right to say that because he wasn't explosive, well, what we used to see. But like you said the other day, is a mature performance too, because he knew that, all right, there's 3 players around me. All right, I'm not going to just try and burn everybody every time because it's not, I'm going to take myself out of the game. Like, there's no point. I can still be effective playing the way I was playing. So he's passing between the lines, finding Griezmann, taking the attention off Griezmann, so Griezmann could go and do what he did that game. And then the small occasions he'll get Walker on a one-on-one. I'm going to remind you, I'm better than you. I'm faster than you. I'm stronger than you. And he did that. So, like, I don't get it, man. We can't now, like, I know it's football fans are football fans, but at some point you got to stop, man. Like, the guy is who he is. Like, you can't now say his game is just predicated on pace. So you're going to say Haaland's game is just predicated on finishing? Like, is Neymar's game just predicated off tricks? Is Ronaldinho's game just predicated off tricks? Was Ronaldo's latter game predicated off just finishing, nothing else? Doesn't make sense.
But that's what they will say. People will now look at your best attribute and then somehow use it against you, which makes no sense. I mean, how many times, right? Because I saw someone else say Mbappe reminds me of of Rashford on like crack, right? And I'm just like, how many times you see Mbappe get the ball and he's got space, but he will slow the game down, stand still on the ball, find the little angles, pop it, little clip, boom, accelerators on, now finds space. And it's like, how can you not see this guy actually likes to try and play the tiki-taka stuff?
Yep. And
he likes he does it well.
Like, and it's even like you could say, like, because I even see this before, like this was years ago. People say Rashford's not that far off Mbappe. You could say that if you, but I can't even, like, I can say that, all right, a lot of his peers, like his younger peers, on just raw ability, a lot of them are with him in terms of raw ability. Unfortunately for you guys, that's not what the game is. It's this, like you just pointed to. It's that. Like Rashford is erratic a lot of the time. Like he can be great, he can be scary, but he can be very erratic. Like he might have 1 or 2 moments in a game sometimes where it's just like, No, more than that. Where it's just like, oh, what are you up to? Like it's been like before, maybe about September this season. That latest the end of September for a year straight, we were saying, "What's up with the guy?" Like I still rate him highly, but there's a difference between him and the youngsters. Dembele is not completely his fault. Like you've been injured,
Injured and
but
all, yeah.
yeah, you are where you are. Like we can't judge what we don't know. Unfortunately, we don't know where you would have been, but you've been injured. Haaland is a fantastic goal scorer and athlete. In terms of football, what we like to see, like aesthetically, Mbappe's got him, and he's got this. Like
Yeah.
he just has that arrogance, but the ability to back up his arrogance all in the same breath.
To be honest with you, Jeff, when I look at Mbappe right now and the level he's playing at and the IQ that he has, I don't see how he doesn't finish with like 3 Ballon d'Ors.
Nah, he's already the best in the world to me. Like now, because I think Messi and Ronaldo they've handed over the torch, man. In the past year or two, torch has been handed over. I think even in Ronaldo's weird ending, he understood he was coming to the end. I just think
Yeah.
a lot of the end is maybe he just doesn't like the way he's been treated, like seniority wise, and he's been a fool at the same time.
Yeah.
That's trying to claim goals, all that weird stuff is just soured your end. Messi have been trying to hand it over for time, I feel like.
Yeah,
Like
facts. Neymar,
even
Neymar never took it.
No, Neymar, your PSG move was meant to be your statement. Like, yeah, all right. I'm up under the Messi shadow. I'm gonna go build my own empire over here. You are yet to do it. They brought in Mbappe 2-3 years later. Mbappe was a bigger draw to PSG than you. They'd let you go before they'd let Mbappe go, and they proved that this summer.
And they'll probably and they would still do that now, no matter how well Neymar's played for PSG this season. At the end of the day, Mbappe's 23, Neymar's 30.
30 years of age. Your body is not in the best shape. You're still who you are. Ability wise, always say it, one of the best players we'll probably ever see in this modern generation. He can do pretty much what he wants. When he feels like it, when he's on 10 and he feels like really doing something to you players, he really will do it. But it's just like, when do you feel like doing it? Like Mbappe is always in the mood to terrorize somebody.
And you know the thing for Neymar now as well is that even like if like when the season restarts and PSG win Ligue 1 and if they win Champions League, he's got no chance of winning the next Ballon d'Or because one of his two teammates, Messi and Mbappe, will have the World Cup too.
Yeah.
So literally, we are talking about Sunday could be not only a battle for World Cup, but it's a low-key Ballon d'Or battle.
That's a very good point.
It could be a low-key Ballon d'Or battle. Like I think Mbappe's been better, but Messi wins
been great.
And then they play for the same club side. If they get
do something,
and they do something, now you've shared that, and now one has the World Cup.
Yeah,
naturally, Messi's gonna get it.
I didn't even think about that. That's a good point because we already know it's predicated on what you win. It's not necessarily on like how well you play.
How well you play.
Luckily, they've just both played well too, so it would make sense.
That's the thing, yeah. They've both played well, so you're like, you can take it in and like. But I think most people right now have Mbappe like as the best player in the world. I think most people now just
like
unanimous.
Yeah, like in this current moment, I don't think it can really be argued. It's Mbappe. I don't even know who's with him. But I guess Neymar will still be up there.
It might literally be that them three men, Mbappe, Neymar, Messi.
Yeah, and then I guess Haaland would be somewhere up there. Like just
Benzema.
right now, Benzema would be up there. Lewandowski, KDB.
After that, kind of getting a bit scarce,
I'd still say Salah.
You could put Salah top 10, yeah.
But yeah, like in terms of the full top 10, I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess Kane might be up there somewhere,
Who?
but Kane would probably be up there somewhere.
He's top 20.
Oh, damn. You wouldn't give him top 10.
No, I'm just trying to think because top 10 sounds a
Oh,
bit
not
mad.
definitively. Like, I
Not
guess.
definitively. I'm just
Yeah.
thinking, I can't think of 20 ballers off the top of my head. Right
Nah.
now, it's better than Harry Kane.
Actually, I got a question. So once Messi retires, or like actually scrap that. We already kind of decided Mbappe is the best player right now, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What does football look like in the next 5 to 7 years? Because Messi and Ronaldo carried football for 10, 11 years. Barcelona Real Madrid rivalry, then drew the Mourinho and Pep rivalry. They've kind of driven football. Like they've created their rivalry, heightened the Barcelona Real Madrid rivalry and the Mourinho Pep rivalry. Like Mourinho and Pep's rivalry is also predicated on how they handled Ronaldo and Messi.
Yeah, that's the greatest managerial rivalry ever for me.
Of all time. So
all time.
Yeah, so what does it look like in 5 to 7 years? Because Messi is 36 in June. He's done. Like he's still Messi, but we can't like their legacy speak for themselves now. They don't even need to speak in this era anymore. They're done. Their work is done.
That's a fantastic question. I think a lot of it will depend on Mbappe, and him having a challenger. Haaland having those numbers will make him a challenger per se in that regard. But you can see that the Haaland thing very quickly, Haaland's going to become that guy that people are like, nah, bro, you just score goals. I can't compare you to Mbappe, innit? That's why I'm looking at my Musialas and that, you know what I'm saying, players of that
special.
That could they do something? Could a João Felix make that step up? You know, what could Jude Bellingham become? One of these men has to step up and challenge Mbappe, because otherwise, tremendously too. Because otherwise, Jeff, we are talking about an unprecedented era of football. Football has never been an undisputed number one for like 3-4 years straight. Messi could never quite get rid of Ronaldo. It was always them together.
And that's a credit to Ronaldo, because anytime you're like, even like me, like someone like me who's like a Messi fan, you're looking at it like, yeah, Messi's the best, but Ronaldo always do stuff with like, oh man, this guy
can't get rid of him.
And like, that's what I'm saying. Like that arrogance kept him there. Like even the era before that, even when you look at the R9s, obviously injuries held him back, but there are so many good players in that era.
Oh, R9, Ronaldinho, Zidane.
You can say even Ibra was in there.
Ibra was in there. Ronaldo, Rivaldo, Thierry Henry.
Yeah.
Bro, like that's
there's a lot of killers.
You know? Hella killers. And they could like, you have certain man that will say Zidane, certain man will say R9, certain man will say Dino. But there was never like them man shared the stage. Ronaldo, Messi stage.
All of them.
With Mbappe, bro.
I can't see it, man. Like,
that's what, because otherwise, someone needs to share that stage with him.
Yeah, because what it's going to end up being is, all right, if my team's winning stuff and I've got more accolades than you, then I'm in that same
that's what
conversation.
We're going. Yeah, that's what we're going.
It's in reality, if you're just looking at football and the individual performances, I can't see it, man. Like, I love Bellingham, but even that's hard to compare, like, because they're two different players. Like, he plays centre mid. Like, Bellingham looks like he's a box-to-box midfielder. He looks like a throwback. That's what he looks like to me.
He does complete throwback. I do like
do everything.
Midfielders, to be fair.
Yeah, I think you'll work well in this era, because like in this era of free in midfield, where like people like Henderson have worked and he's limited ability, then there's no reason why Bellingham can't. Like Bellingham has got everything. He's got everything to be a top player. But
this is what I'm saying, and it's like I just look at it and I just think. Another thing, if you've noticed, Jeff, if you look at the World Cup, bare of these nations, you're like, bro, how is this guy still playing? Is he doing like 50? That's how you know bare countries are struggling to replace these men.
Very much so, man. Like, what
Modric
did I?
37, last legs.
What
Messi
did I?
35.
I
CR7.
saw as well that it might have been. This was mostly focused on England, yeah. But I saw
Mm,
something. It was like an academy guy or something like. It's
mm,
like one of these clips, like a 4-minute clip. He was saying that scouting wise, I also know because I got friends that are like scouts and what they like look for in like players.
mm.
Scouting wise, they kind of look for midfielders and no for forwards most because they got the
Okay.
biggest value. And even like fullbacks now, they're looking at midfielders because that's what the role entails now. So like the rest of the positions are kind of suffering because the focus is strictly on the attackers. What do you make of it?
Hey, again, I get why there's a focus on attackers because, bro, attackers are dying. Attackers are dying. Look at, bro, we watch Croatia. We're like, wow, a lot of good build up play. But as soon as it gets anywhere near final third, no hope. Morocco gave you similar vibes, like get close, no threat.
Mm.
And I just look and I'm just like, forwards are scared, especially number nines. Um, and it's just like, I don't know, man. Like we've heard Messi speak about it recently, saying, that football's not the same. It's more about system. Benzema said it, Fabregas said it. And these are players that had it all in their locker.
They're entitled to speak on this.
They're entitled to speak. So when they
Mhm.
speak, you gotta think, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Ronaldo coming out saying these young bucks these days ain't as dedicated.
And he's right. Like to me, he's right. Like I know people will say, "Oh, like it's Ronaldo. Who is he to speak on it?" Like I know they can't be you. I've had this argument with people where they say, "Oh, I know they can't be you." It's not about that though. It's
No, it's not
like
about that. It's not about that.
just go through Ronaldo. Let's use Ronaldo as just because he's perfect to speak on it
Yeah, yeah.
because he was 17. You got bought by Manchester United because you were great in that friendly game for spoiling
Mhm.
Lisbon against United. Ferguson said, I need to have this guy. He obviously saw a bigger ceiling for you than just the skills. He's like, all right, this guy's got skills, but he's 6'1".
Yeah.
Like, if he puts some meat on, stops this like diving around and my foot hurts, then
Yeah.
this guy could be something. So he's bought you. You got bought to Man United. He was exciting when he first joined. Like remember when he came on, it must have been like against Bolton or somebody.
Oh, yeah, I'll never
Yeah,
forget them highlights.
he was
Or watch
tearing
them
them up.
a couple of times a year. Go slap them on, man.
Yeah, like he had step overs. He was killing people, and we hadn't seen that in the Prem in a little while. Just someone who's just gonna just do this, like just skills and go past people. But at some point, so Alex said, and even like Scholes and that were saying like, all right, we know you got skills, but it's a team game, my guy.
Mhm.
You're gonna have to, if you want to be one of the best, you're gonna have to change your game. You can't
Yep.
just do skills. As much as Ronaldinho was a trickster, he could do the other stuff, and the skills led to something. I'm not just doing pointless tricks here.
Yeah.
Like,
Ronaldinho didn't really do pointless tricks, to be fair.
nah, he
Nah.
might showboat once in a while, but a lot of the time, it's all right. I'm going to kill you. These skills, I'm going past you, and something's happening from after the skill. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna set something up, or something's happening. So you got sat down. Like Ferguson said, "No, all right, cool, this is enough. Like you're doing all of this, the end product isn't good enough. I've got Van Nistelrooy in the box. Like things need to happen. Like especially United, it's wing play. Like you got Giggs and Beckham. That's what you're used to. So the ball gets wide. There's good crosses in the box. People finish it. You
Mhm.
need to adapt, and he did. To his credit, like he for about 6-7 months, he didn't play as much. He was on the bench. He was coming on. He was still doing what he was doing, causing problems. But he listened to the manager, to the seniority, and like, all right, cool. This is what I need to do, and he executed it. And 3-4
Facts.
years later, he's a complete player. He was 31 goals in 34 games from left wing. Now, he's probably one of the first players in Man United to have a free role because he was left wing, but he
Yeah.
wasn't. He was like out front.
Yeah. He was everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
And then from there, Real Madrid, we know what happened there, and he turned into a striker. But even that, like, he's perfectly qualified to speak on it because I've been where these kids are, where I got all the ability in the world, but the mentality is a major part of why you become what you are. Like Messi is an anomaly.
Yeah, but Messi also worked hard too.
He did. He changed his position a few times.
Exactly, because you can't sustain that level of ability for as long as he did without working hard, being relentless. And like you said, Ronaldo's not expecting the same level as he had because people like Ronaldo are anomalies. They're freaks. That mentality was very different. But and it's like I don't know if you saw the recent news about Sancho at United.
I did. Yeah, he's in America or something right now, right?
Yeah. So obviously, I hope he's calm and everything. I don't know what the issue is. But obviously, Ten Hag said at the moment he has to train individually because he's not in the right physical and mental condition.
That's great
Now,
management.
great management. But when you hear he's not in the right physical and mental condition, to you, do you think it's more physical or mental? Because if I hear after this World Cup where you've had no football and you've come back and the manager says you're not in the right physical and mental shape, I reckon the manager's allowing you a bit. I reckon maybe you've come back out of shape.
I can't say that because even he's been playing like most of this season, yeah. Like it's only the last probably few games where he was just kind of not exiled, but just bench because he just wasn't doing what he was doing. But a lot of these games when Ten Hag came in, he was playing 60, 70 minutes and he kept coming off. So that probably means your condition wasn't right, but see Rashford was injured, Martial's injured. We didn't know this Garnacho kid was gonna do what he did and put himself in contention. So I'm gonna say he's never really been in the best physical condition. Like even a lot of the times he's not the quickest, but it's also like he's almost scared to engage in some physical stuff sometimes. Like you're scared to go get knocked over. Like you're just playing cute, safe football. And obviously that Man United are not where they are yet. So you're not asked that what's asked of you as a winger is not all the way there yet. You just have to you can do the bare minimum at the moment. It's just highlighted more so because you were bought for what you were bought for. You're English, and they attach all this other stuff to you, like he's always in South doing this, blah 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 blah. But like, I don't think he's ever been in the best, or I wouldn't say in the best, in his prime physical condition. And then obviously all this mental stuff, he's been he's basically had a bad year all in all. Or since he's joined, it hasn't been great. He's been getting killed by pundits.
Killed on social media.
Killed on social media, killed by companies on social media. Like they're joining in the fun. There's all sorts going on. So it's just kind of like, all right, even if you're the strongest person on earth, be lying if you say it wouldn't affect you. Like the boy is 21, 22. So all that accessibility at 21, 22 is not right, which is why the older managers like the Ferguson and the Wenger used to ban that kind of stuff because no, like you're too accessible. You can say that's a lot of the reason that Arsenal were messed up for a long time.
Yeah, I feel for Sancho, man. He's become like a symbol for trolling.
Yeah, it's just like if you want 1,000 likes, rip Sancho.
Bro, it's just like you said, all them companies that will troll him. I'm just like, okay, people doing it is one thing. That's terrible. But now companies are joining in to show you as well. It's like,
but that's I'm gonna blame the public for that.
Yeah,
like,
I guess
the consumers, because forget these people are like human beings. You think you can just say whatever you want, and then the companies now, and especially in the five. To me, as soon as that Ryan Giggs brother advert happened, from then it's been a free for all. Like they've just been doing whatever to get your attention.
That Ryan Giggs advert is actually embarrassing.
Madness. Like you got Rodri Giggs.
I lost a bit of respect for him. Not for Giggs, for Ryan Giggs' brother. I lost a little bit of respect for him because I'm like, I know you want to get back to your brother. I hear it. But to then kind of take the piss out of yourself doing that advert is like, bro, do you need that money that bad? I mean, hey, I'm not trying to count his pockets,
but he did.
Bro, your dignity.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying, but I don't know, man. Like from there, because that was a whole production. Like that was a proper.
Yeah.
Like that advert wasn't like 30 seconds. That was a long advert.
That was like
They didn't
2-3 minutes, bro.
Yeah, they didn't even play it that many times, but it was a long advert. It's like, all right, man. From there, social media been crazy. Like Paddy Power been doing wild stuff since then.
Oh, Paddy Power is wild, bro.
So, like, yeah, I blame the public, man, because you think that people been saying whatever they say to people, and what they do is they break people down, and then when the person's at breaking point, then everyone's like, oh yeah, mental health awareness, all this. Well, so wait. You just broke this guy down with tweets, which was for 9 months. Now, when he shows you that he's affected by it, now it's mental health.
It's fine it's fine to do it in the moment, but now that
Yeah.
man's fucked, now you're like,
Yeah.
man, damn, Sancho, lay off him. Mental
What?
health.
That's not how life works. Like the kid is 22. Luckily, I hope he comes back the same, but there isn't any telling on how you come back after you've been
There isn't.
decimated the way you've been decimated. Like critiquing someone's football is one thing, but to continuously break someone down is another. You can even argue and say that might be what contributed to Pogba too. We can say that.
Yeah. I just think Sancho's not as strong of a personality as Pogba is. Pogba's probably a bit more stronger, and he's been more like, man, fuck what these guys say, man. I know about my ability level. Sancho might be a more not fragile, but just a bit more naturally sensitive person, and be like, bro, like I'm just getting started, and most of these attacks are not even about my football. They're about
they're just saying anything.
They're saying anything.
Saying who his friends are, and it's just like, so if I hang around with this, is it your business? Like what? Like what I do in my spare time? I know I'm a public figure, but that's what people gotta remember too. Like just because you're a public figure doesn't mean that you have to focus on every aspect of their lives. It's kind of the problem with society, that why we so focused on celebrity. Like,
exactly that, man. Exactly that. Big up Ibby in the building. Hope you're good, my bro. Saying didn't know about that advert till you said it. Just went and watched it. That is a broken man. Hope he at least was paid handsomely, bro. Spot on, man. Spot on. I just think like
advert was insane, bro.
Like
at the time, because I remember that. When was that? I was probably like 8 years ago, something like that, right? Something like that. Like first time I saw that, because we obviously knew the situation, is that
you
really did this.
That was like the public confirmation to finally confirm that it happened. We knew it happened.
Yeah.
But that was like him out loud saying to everyone, my brother slept with my wife for 8 years, which is just
what?
Giggs. Can't rate Giggs, man.
Jesus. Like Giggs has had stories on him for years, but like it just got worse and worse, especially as he stopped playing football.
Bro, once he stopped playing football, it just got worse, bro. Now, obviously, he's still got that case in it pending.
Yeah, it's not over yet.
It's not over yet, yeah. Bro, like, Giggs, like, it's hard to judge him properly as a football player. You always have to differentiate the two, because Giggs is an outstanding football player.
Legend. Like when I was coming up, he was one of the guys I modeled my game off. Like
he's a good guy to model your game off.
He's like
this guy on the left side, because he can dribble, intelligent, cross, like. But yeah, man, shout out Giggs, bro, and his brother, like.
But yeah, man, it's just in a bad place, because like you can argue and say that it could happen with a lot of people. Like Dele Alli, you can say it probably contributed to him as well as his own arrogance. But you can say it's probably a contribution, because you start buying into the good stuff people say about you. Then there's same people a month later, if you have a bad game, are gonna kill you. Like Kane, like he missed the penalty, but he's gonna be getting crucified for probably the rest of the season. Like it's just gonna happen like that. Like football is just the world. It's not even just football. It's just in a wild space with how quick you can comment and affect somebody's feelings. Like that really doesn't take long.
It don't. It don't. It's just, oh man, like it's Yeah, it's in a crazy place right now, man. It's in a crazy place right now, and
Very crazy, man.
obviously, I hope Sancho's okay. Can get back to playing at his best. It'll be nice to see him play at his best because we know the ability level that he does have.
He's up
Um,
there in that crop of good young talent. He's in there, like a
he's in there.
natural ability. He
He
has it.
is, man. He is. So, but yeah, man. I mean, getting back to the final. Obviously, we've spoken about Messi and Mbappe in that. Another man is Griezmann. He's had an outstanding tournament. I mean, even for him, for Griezmann, like to have 2 World Cups on his resume. I mean, when you look at number 10s, he's up there, isn't it, in terms of what we've seen as a number 10.
Yeah, man. He's I guess like he's one being at Atletico Madrid probably hurt a little bit just on the
Yeah,
perception.
facts.
Then that failed Barcelona move didn't help. Like, I thought he was gonna be a success there, but people were telling me, yeah, he's not gonna work there, and it didn't. Like, there was Messi there at the time.
Yeah,
It just looked bad. But all in all, Griezmann is a slept-on player, man. He's got all
slept
the
on that.
ability in the world.
Like, cause it's funny because I reckon if you bring up Griezmann's name, right, and you say Griezmann, you mention Ozils, you mention KDBs and that. If you try to put Griezmann's name in that bracket, people will be like, "Raw, why are you bringing Griezmann into this?" But Griezmann's a top player.
And you could argue and say he's like Ozil's probably one of my favorite cams, but you could argue and say he's more effective and say Griezmann's more effective. Like obviously
He can score more as well.
Yeah, and he's just a different 10. Like Ozil is the kind of player where we knew at Arsenal, like you even knew before then, he's focused on the assist. He doesn't like scoring. Like he gets more out of setting you up. Like that crazy through ball, or like even if it's not a pre-assist, he'll get more. He'll like that'll do more for him than scoring.
More satisfaction. Yeah.
Like KDB is maybe a little bit different because KDB is he's ridiculous. He does what he feels like. You can score 15 a season and set up 15 a season. But Griezmann, one of those guys like could easily score 15, 16 a season. Easily. It's just that he's been at Atletico Madrid a lot of the time. So they spend a lot of time maybe without the ball and scoring 1 goal. So he just has to run around a lot. That's what happens a lot.
That's why he's so good defensively now.
Yeah, he stopped. He was one of the main stoppers at England.
Yeah, again, but it'll be interesting. Like if they do get that World Cup, Griezmann 2 World Cup, winners medals, a league at Atletico. Did he win a league at Atletico?
Yeah, he did. Couple. I think he's made 2 finals with Atletico Madrid in Champions League.
Made the Euro 2016 final with France. Was the top scorer at that tournament.
He's done a lot, man.
He's done a lot. He's done a lot.
Career.
I think when you look at your Ozils, your KDBs, your David Silvas, all your number 10s, I think he has to be in that discussion where it's not like oh my God, how are you bringing Griezmann up type of thing. I think he can sit. I think he's earned the right to sit at the table with these men. Don't get me wrong. If you ask me, do I pick Griezmann or Ozil? I'll probably take Ozil. I ain't gonna lie. There's very few number 10s I'm taking ahead of Ozil at his best.
Ozil at his best was a work of art, man.
It really is. Pure art, pure poetry, emotion is what Ozil at his best was. But Griezmann is also a very, very nice player to watch. Like he's very aesthetically pleasing, very clever, very intelligent footballer. So even for him, massive for his legacy. What about Jalil's mate, Lloris in goal?
You know what? Like Lloris, like I know you just make jokes on like Lloris because obviously that charge. I guess it's funny because no one got hurt. True. But all in all, Lloris is a solid keeper. I know he's not the best with his feet. Like as the game progressed, he's like when it goes back to him, he still doesn't look the best just because it's just never been his thing. Kind of grew up in a different era, but he's in terms of the traditional qualities of a keeper, he's good at all of it.
Yeah,
decent in the air, good shot stopper, commands his area well, talks to his defense, lets him know, like organizes and orchestrates his defense well. Solid keeper, and this will be his second World Cup if they win. So I know his club wise, it's not great because he's been at Spurs for what 11 years now, and they've never really done anything in the time he's been there.
No.
But 2 World Cups.
11 years, I suppose.
Yeah, he got there in I might be wrong, but 2011, I think he joined from Lyon. Let me check.
I think it might be 2013, you know, or 2012.
You reckon?
Check. I think it might be 2012, so 10 years.
Let's see, the Reece Lyon to Spurs transfer. 2012. Yeah, you're right, I think. 2012. 2012.
Yeah, so still 10 years at Spurs. Well,
it's a long time, man.
I guess, is he a Spurs legend? I guess he is, isn't it? Like,
yeah, no.
Him as a legend, because what have they done?
Yeah, he would be considered a legend, but they shouldn't have any legends because they haven't done anything. Like, it doesn't even make sense to have legends.
Facts, but yeah, I mean, I guess every club deserves a legend, I guess. So
yeah, you'd be considered one. Like he's like, I know it hasn't really amounted to anything, but he's just been a mainstay as their goalie the whole time.
Yeah.
Been great. Like, even when he got injured, whatever happened at City, I think he broke his arm. Whatever happened on the goal line, I can't really remember it, but barely. But he's still like,
that
was nasty.
Yeah, that was nasty.
But yeah, like they miss him. Like every time he doesn't play, even at the age he is now, they miss him. Like, so he has to be considered as one of their main players.
If you say Tottenham and legends in the same sentence, wow, bro! Every club has its legends, man. There's some guys we've never even heard of. If you go to that club's fans, they'll say, "Hey, man, he's a legend. He's a legend around here." And we're like, "Oh, we don't even know who he is," but it's what you do at that club and the impact you make. And I guess, you know, Spurs were always kind of a joke. But since he's been there, we have made a Champions League final and that. So they have to respect the table. So they've done some things. We have to give them credit for. But so yeah, so on Sunday, who do you think will win on Sunday?
I think France are gonna go in as favorites. I think I have France as favorites because they have the better team. Now they have more dangers than Argentina. So that you got Mbappe, you got Dembele, you got Griezmann. Tchouaméni has been playing well. Just even though France, they've had their uncertain moments too, but you just know that even Giroud, sorry, I forgot, but they have a better team. Not just individuals, just their setup. Like Argentina's setup is Messi or nothing. It's kind of has been for years. It's if Messi doesn't play well or Di Maria doesn't play well, obviously less of Di Maria now because he's getting older and older and he's injured.
He's injured right now. Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I think he is. He played 4 minutes one game. I can't remember what game it was, but
and then he didn't play the next game, so you know that
he's struggling.
Right. Yeah, he ain't right.
So just that if Messi doesn't play well, they're useless a lot of the time. They just are.
Facts.
They're no good if Messi doesn't play well. So if France find a way to stop Messi, you're probably gonna stop Argentina. That's just the way it goes.
And the thing is, as well, is that both teams kind of like to sit back and let the other teams dictate and play off that. So there's gonna be a lot on Sunday of back and forths of Argentina 10-minute spell, France 10-minute spell, So who can be most effective in the transitions as well and when dominating. And I feel like when dominating, France have more options. Than Argentina.
Definitely. And even in the transition, say Argentina are counter-attacking or attacking, France have more on the counter-attack. You got Mbappe and Dembele on the counter-attack. That's scary for anybody.
It's scary.
And Argentina don't exactly have the quickest of defenders.
No, they don't. And he'd be saying, I think France will win. These knockout performances feel like, to me, what Southgate dreams of. They ain't playing great, but they're not being peppered too. Just clinical France 3-1. And you know what, Ibby? I actually think that's a good point because I actually think that Deschamps is not a good manager.
Not the best. He kind of manages how he plays. Conservative. That's exactly how he used to play.
Exactly. Just looking, sit back, DM. He was a DM, right?
Yeah, he's a DM.
Yeah, bro, man. Just needs to be there to clamp, man. You know what I'm saying? Sit back. So he just happens to now have all the superstar forwards that can make magic happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, he could end up on Sunday night having been a manager with 2 World Cups to his name. I mean, you can't chat to him after that. I bet you he won't even go into club management because you won't even want to get exposed. There's no need.
Two successive World Cups.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Like Griezmann, Lloris, Deschamps, Mbappe. This might be their second World Cup in a row. Has anyone done that before?
Brazil did it in 1960. That's the last time back-to-back's been done.
60.
Like,
you sure it's like maybe 60? It's 66.
Sorry, no. Did Brazil win it 56 and sorry, no. Did Brazil win it 58 and 62?
Yeah, they definitely won it 58.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one, yeah. 1958, 1962. So it's been like what, 60 years? Yeah, 60 years. There's a country went back to back. Well, I mean, Jeff, remember how mad everyone went when Madrid went back to back Champions Leagues? Because it hadn't been done, yeah? In like 20 years or something. We're talking about a country going back to back World Cups, first time in 60 years. And
imagine
then
that
is the face of that at 23.
That's insanity. Like even Spain, like when they won and France, like when France won the World Cup, then the Euros 98, 2000, and Spain World Cup 20 or Euros 2008, World Cup 2010,
and then Euro 2012,
and then Euro. Oh, I forgot about
that was nuts.
Who's the greatest nation of our era? Then is it Spain or would it be France?
I think the best national team I've seen, I gotta give it to that Spain team, man.
Spain team was.
You know what? The only thing I'm trying to decide is which rendition of the team that I like the most. Did I like the 2008 one, the 2010 one, or the 2012 one? There's a part of me that says the 2008 one when they were just coming up. That team was fluid. 2010, every other team just put 12 man behind the ball. Like, if you remember 2010 World Cup, Spain did not concede a goal. They conceded 1 goal the whole tournament. That was their first game.
Ooh. Sorry.
No worries, bro. The whole tournament they conceded only 1 goal. Mad, bro. Big up Ibi saying in terms of era has to be Spain for me. The way they played too, didn't they beat Italy 4-0 in the Euros 2012 final, bro? 100% spot on, man. They slapped Italy in that final, bro. 4-0, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think David Silva scored 2. I think David Silva scored 2 or something. So yeah, like, bro, for me, just to answer Jeff's question, I think that Spain team for me is probably number 1. Number 2, in terms of best national. No worries, bro. Who would be the second best national team you've seen? You beat that Brazil 2002 team.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of goalie to striker. Who's in goal for that?
Let me check. Let me get a line for you. I mean, Dida, yeah.
Dido, Roberto Carlos, Cafu, Lucio. I can't remember who his partner was.
So the lineup was Cafu, Lucio. I can't see who's the other centre back. I think it might have been Rocky Jr. Who's that?
Oh yeah, he used to play at Milan.
Yes, Rocky Jr. Then Roberto Carlos left back. then Gilberto Silva, Kleberson, and then Rivaldo, Dino, R9. Man, who's the other man? Edmilson. Man like Edmilson and that.
He was good too.
He was a good solid player. I can't lie, man. He was a good. But you have to have some solid players when you got Dino, Rivaldo, and R9, bro. You bro, you have to, bro.
What kind of
That's what kind ridiculous. Of free is that, bro?
What do you do with that? Because them times Ronaldinho was young, like 21, and he cared.
Spring chicken.
Rivaldo was the OG with the magical left foot.
Like, he slept on,
very slept on. The left foot is magical. Done
people don't talk about Ronaldo,
ever. Like he done dirt at Deportivo, he done dirt at Barcelona.
Hey,
even when Barcelona weren't good.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. He chested it and then outside the box. Come on.
Bro, mad player, bro. But I'd say Spain, then that Brazil team, and then after that probably France.
I'm trying to think. Because France 98 might have a shout too.
France 98 was serious. I've watched that final back against Brazil and they were serious.
They battered Brazil.
That game. I didn't realize how not close that game was until I actually watched back the game. And I was like, Rob, Brazil done nothing this game. Like
obviously Ronaldo had the fits, so he played, but he was battered. Like I don't even know why he I know why he played, but I don't know how. Like he had 3 fits.
Yeah.
The night before a game.
Match, that again, like I can't lie. I don't want to say it's not possible. I can't see a footballer now having a fit and then stepping on the pitch and like obviously for health and safety you probably shouldn't anyway. But are me and you really gonna sit here and say that we don't get it what he did? I get it. It's like
of course. My nation I'm killing this World Cup. Yeah, I'm killing this World Cup. Like I'm better than everybody. Like that's how I'm seeing it. I have to play. And by Brazil standards as well, like the coach, do you say no? Like nowadays, like these players don't play if they got a stub toe or I broke half my toenail or no, I can't play, man. Or I'm in pain. What? Do you know what this guy was doing? Because after that, he was out for 3 years. So it wasn't just fits. Like his body was not right and he still played.
Bro, R9's dedication, man, was underrated, bro. Like that's why I hear why he won the World Cup, went to Madrid and said, you know what, let me enjoy life.
I'm entitled to.
Yeah, I'm entitled to.
Think about it. Like Virgil had 1 bad ACL injury. Ronaldo had 2.
And the second one wasn't even ACL, bro. It was just a
leg break.
Pop kneecap.
Like just how do you break your patella? I don't even understand that. What kind of injury is that?
How do you break your kneecap? Oh,
and then ACL, and then he had ACLs later in his career too. Where, and this was before all of the cryo chamber and all those kind of things where you can recover. This is just I'm somehow gonna have to get back. My dedication is gonna have to get me back here,
bro. You gotta do all them exercise. Oh man, like it was different mentality times, man. But there's been some great national teams over the years, though. But yes, that Spain team,
they top it.
Yeah, they're magical.
2 Euros and a World Cup.
We ain't seen that run again. France could have done it.
Yeah, let's see if France could still do it. Like if they win the World Cup,
still do it. That's the thing. Oh no, but if they win the next Euro, then the next World Cup, then then we'll.
Because they even can say, listen, all right, we won this World Cup without 4 or 5 players. They might not be players you like, but we like them. They're all key players, and they got a big injury whilst the World Cup was going on. The Hernandez brother, what's his name?
Lucas.
Lucas. Yeah, like. I don't know if I prefer him over Theo, but that's not the point. Like, he's injured.
It's another great issue. Yeah.
And no
So
Pogba, no Kante, no Benzema, no Kimpembe. Again, I'm not a fan of Kimpembe, but they like him. Like maybe
yeah,
because he's left
and no
footed.
McDon, the keeper. He was meant to be number one
Yeah,
choice.
and no
No
Magnon.
keeper. What a sub he is.
No,
And
that's
bro, this
6 or
is what I
7.
even mentioned, bro. In 4 years, they're probably gonna have call up Saint Maximum.
Oh, I forgot he was French.
Bro,
Oh,
that's what I'm saying, bro.
Mbappe might just go up front. Because by then, if St. Maximin can stay fit, that's another player in 3-4 years. He can be one of the best in the world. If when he just needs to learn when to release the ball.
That's it.
Because he's another one. He has that kind of Grealish problem where you're at that like lower team, you do everything. Like Newcastle are better now, so he's probably gonna have to move the ball quicker.
Yeah.
But that
Imagine
boy
that.
is scary. St.
Dembele,
Maximin,
Mbappe.
Mbappe,
All like 28,
Dembele.
27. Nah, come on, man.
Nah. How old's St. Maximin? 24.
24, 25. So you'll be 29 or something.
Come on, St. Maximin. Jeez.
Oh, come on,
St.
man. That's
Maximin, Mbappe, and Dembele.
crazy, bro. Big up Vib having the building saying sorry for being late to the stream, boys. Like the
Bro.
stream. Big up yourself, man, every time, man. We're literally just about to wrap up and give our predictions. But obviously, if all the people watching, big up all of you, have any questions for us, then do so. I think, Jeff, you said, what was your score prediction?
Oh, actually didn't give one. I would say 2-1 France. But I think it's going to be a comfortable game.
Oh, you feel comfortable for them?
Yeah, I think they might find a way to just surround Messi, man. That's all it really takes. That Messi's not 26 anymore, where he's gonna have the energy to run past 11 man anymore. Like if you stop Messi, you probably stop Argentina.
That's the thing. Argentina don't even have pace.
All they got is Alvarez. Like Alvarez is great, but again, he could cause a lot of problems at the back though, because he's one of those strikers who just doesn't give up. He just likes running after you. So especially with Upamecano, I don't know who's gonna play, Upamecano or Konate, but if Upamecano plays, they got a chance.
I'll be honest with you. That's my prediction is dependent on whether Upamecano plays or not. If Upamecano plays, Argentina will win 2-1. If he does not play, France will win 2 or 3-1. That's what it's literally hinges on whether Upamecano plays or not. Because
my God,
bro,
like he's
Argentina and how clever they are winning fouls, and you're looking at this guy, how rash he is. Well, I'll be saying, get near him every time.
Yeah, I'll just wait for him to bump into me. I'm just going down every time. You're gonna do something stupid.
Mad. It'd be saying the future's bright for France. What is with this crop of young centre backs they have? It's incredible crop. Have England ever had a young centre back as comfortable on the ball?
No way.
Even Stones, it took him a while to get good. To be honest, probably Rio Ferdinand.
Oh yeah. Rio Ferdinand's probably he's up there in centre back Hall of Fame to me comfortably. Like he's up there with the best of the best.
100%.
So him, but yeah, like they're all comfortable. Konate is pretty decent on the ball. Saliba is maybe too overconfident at times. He's that good on the ball. Varane is not bad on the ball at all. Yeah,
Upamecano is very good on the ball.
that's his best probably attribute. He's just too rash.
Yeah, he's just too rash.
Yeah, so it's just scary, man, that you got that many options.
That might be the thing that holds. Well, we say that might be the thing that holds England back. Really, at Euro 2024, if you look at it on paper, there's no reason why it shouldn't be like a France-England final or France-Portugal final or something along that nature. It's really them three nations that stand out above the rest. England really at the next, Euros. I would like to see a Stones Tomori partnership just to see how that goes. You know what I mean?
Looks like White is never really going to be put as part of the fold for whatever reason. That he doesn't seem to get on with them and they don't seem to like him. I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, that situation is odd with Ben White. I don't really
get
know.
it.
I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But yeah, man. I mean, I think in the end, I feel like destiny points that maybe Messi has to win this one.
I'd hope so, man. I do.
So
He deserves one.
and Ibi just last coming from Ibi saying replacing Kane will be the big problem for us. Who's going to step up there? Well, that's when England might have to get a bit more flexible with their options. You know, could Foden play false nine? But then again, you need the right manager who's going to be able to get the best out of him there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, realistically, Tony could have been an option, but with his whole betting stuff now, we know that he's going to have the media on his case for bad reasons.
Yeah.
So it will be a tough job to replacing someone the caliber of Harry Kane is always going to be super, super difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So England might have to get creative and maybe think about maybe playing a false nine. They might have to do that, but Kane will play at the next Euros,
Maybe even the next World Cup.
maybe even the next World Cup. So England are a few years away yet, where hopefully someone will come through and make that step up.
Yeah. Can't see who it will be right now, but
Yeah, right now I can't really see it. Because England are not really going to end up relying on Callum Wilson. No offense to him, he's like a squad player. He's
yeah,
not a star type of thing.
no, not by any means. Good player though.
Good player, man. But yeah, listen, people, that's the end of the preview for the final. Jeff's gone with 2-1 for France. I've gone with 2-1 for Argentina. We've spoken about all the different legacies that are at stake. So do drop a comment. Who do you think? Whose legacy do you think is most at stake? You know, Ibi's also going with 3-1 to France. He said he wants Messi to get it, but I just can't see the defense being solid against Mbappe, Giroud, and Dembele. Griezmann's a massive and what a player. And spot on. That's the right way to end the man. Griezmann, top player. We were saying it. If he wins the World Cup, does he become one of the? Can he be in that discussion of the best number 10s of this era? Obviously, if Mbappe wins the 2 World Cups at 23 years old, what does the future hold for him? And then obviously for Lionel Messi above all, winning a World Cup for Argentina just like Maradona did, does that make him the undisputed GOAT? So there's so many subplots. That it should be a fantastic final from a pure fitter point of view. Hopefully the quality of the game is as good, to be honest. But yeah, people just drop your predictions in the comments. Smash the likes, like Vibhab said. And we'll be back either on Monday or Tuesday next week to look back on the final and give our team of the tournament. So until then, people, have a blessed weekend and enjoy the final Sunday. We out. Peace.